Good evening, folks. We're going to call the May 11th Development Review Board meeting to order. Roll call. All members are present. It's number 2 on the agenda, changes to the agenda. There is a change. Number 9 is going to be moved to June due to a procedural error of the posting by the applicant's agent we were advised of. So just as a heads up, that will move to June. If you're here to speak to that hearing, we will see you next month. Next on the agenda, number 3, we're going to open a recessed public hearing for Jonathan Dubinsky. We did receive new documents that were added to the index from the Planning and Zoning Department, which are in an accompanying packet that all members did receive and review. Is there anyone to speak to this hearing this evening?
Yeah, I couldn't make it up here. It's Thomas Anastasio on Zoom here.
Were you sworn in last time, Thomas?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak to this hearing that was not here previously and sworn in? Yes or no, sir? Sorry. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Sounds good. Okay, Mr. Anagio, we did receive quite a plethora of information here. Did you receive a copy of these?
Yes. If we're talking about the stuff from Vermont Transit and all that, yes.
Okay, so currently as it sits, we have a letter from Ludlow Highway Foreman with a denial for the access permit. We have a V-Trans letter of concern along with some documents that they provided. We also have a letter from a neighbor, two neighbors, and we have a letter of concern from the president of Vermont Rail System. Did you receive those other documents?
I did not receive those.
Okay. I can review all these on the record with you if you would like tonight. Being that there is some, I'd say about 20 pages, 15 pages here of additional information. I would want to make sure you have the opportunity to offer a rebuttal.
Yep.
If that's acceptable with you, we can meet back next month.
Yeah, that's fine. Is the letter from Ron, the highway guy, that's a new letter, I guess?
Dated May 7th.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I didn't see that. After I met up with everybody on Friday a couple of weeks ago, and when we left that meeting, I actually left that meeting thinking we were getting the approval for the access, so that is a surprise to me. So yeah, that could be all sent to me. We'll review, and we could reconvene next.
Okay. I make a motion that we recess this hearing until June.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
And that'll be emailed to me from Aaron, I believe, then?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we're going to open a new public hearing for Tom Koch. Aaron?
All right, this is application number FHR-26-001 and CU-26-001. The applicant is Tom Koch. The property owner is Tom Koch. Project description is this is an application for 100% substantial improvement to an existing structure requiring flood hazard and conditional use review. This project is in the town residential district. The hearing date is today at 6 p.m. We publicly posted this in the town clerk's office, town hall bulletin boards, post office, and the town website on April 17th, 2026. We placed it in the Vermont Journal on April 22nd, 2026, and we notified the abutting property owners on April 17th, 2026. George?
Thank you, Aaron. Do we have anyone who's here to speak to this hearing tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and are you speaking on behalf of the applicant?
I am.
Okay. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak to this hearing? Okay. I'm going to swear you in, Mr. McNamara. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give relative to the matter now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury? I do.
I do.
Okay, how about you tell us about your project?
You know, George, I've always wanted you to ask me that question.
There it is.
So, good to see you all. I apologize I'm not there in person. I was going to be there and some travel arrangements came up, so I am now zooming in, obviously. So, this is kind of exactly how Ms. Ladd alluded to. Mr. Koch is looking to replace his existing mobile home structure on Buttermilk Falls Road, 100% replacement, so 100% substantial repair. Since it is located within the flood zone, we did reach out and get approval in a letter from the floodplain manager regarding the project. Everything, were you able to get a copy of that letter?
Yes.
You do have it? Okay. So, we are completely on board with the recommendations and requirements that is put forth by the floodplain manager. Everything's above BFE. Flood-resistant materials, the big one being that the new structure will remain in the existing footprint of the original structure, so it meets setback requirements as well as falls within the permitted 50-foot shadow area required for the downstream area. You know, basically just replacing a structure that has been there for quite some time. I don't believe it was necessarily directly impacted by the flood of 23, but obviously as things change with the flood-resistant materials and construction here, this will alleviate some of those, as well as placing a newly, you know, that building that is there is not inhabitable currently, so putting something there that is a better fit for the area, as well as, you know, possible residential housing.
Any questions from the board?
So, I have a question. Hi, Brendan.
Hey, Phil.
So, just to paint the picture here, they're gonna take the existing mobile home out and replace it with a new one.
That is correct.
And are they gonna, so it's gonna meet all the base flood elevation criteria, all that sort of stuff?
First floor is located about 2.5 feet above BFE. All of the utilities are above BFE. There will be installing a propane tank that is buried with anti-float devices, anchored the stairs and the decks, so they're flood resistant. And they also have breakaway wall designs and flood venting.
Are you moving both those trailers?
Just the one. The one at 96 Buttermilk Falls, so that first one.
Just a quick question. So in that email chain from the floodplain manager, kind of in that first paragraph of text there, they reference that the structure cannot be located closer to the river than the existing structure.
Correct.
And I just want to make sure that what I'm seeing on the drawings show it in the same location that the current is. Is that correct?
That would be correct. The building is going in the exact same footprint as the original structure, so that way it meets all of the setbacks as laid out by the floodplain manager.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
Brendan, did you see the fire chief's letter? He had some stuff you know, that he had some issues, not issues, but do you have any issues with meeting any of the fire chief's conditions?
I do not, no. And I think that they're pretty realistic.
Any other questions?
I'll make a motion that we close the hearing.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. You'll be hearing from us.
Thank you all. Good to see you.
Bye, Brendan.
Good to see you.
There's a couple way in the back that came in late. Yes, may I have your names, please? Angela? And? Excuse me?
That's my last name, it's gonna be a tough one. T-E-M-I-R-K-U-L-O-D.
And which hearing are you here for?
We are here for the Gilham subdivision.
Okay, thank you.
Next on the agenda, we're going to open a new public hearing for Walter Sigordner. Aaron?
All right, this is application number VAR-26-001. The applicant is Walter Sigordner. The property owner is VT Held LLC. The project description is this is an application for a front yard setback variance from the required 55 feet to 48 feet. The total variance requested is about 7 feet. This project is in the town residential district. We publicly posted this in the town clerk's office, the town hall bulletin boards, post office, town website on April 17th, 2026. We posted in the Vermont Journal on April 22nd, 2026, and we notified the abutting property owners on April 17th, 2026. George?
Thanks, Aaron. Is there anyone here to speak to this hearing this evening?
I do not see the applicant in the room.
Okay, I make a motion to close this hearing.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Aye. Opposed? Next on the agenda, we're going to open a new public hearing for Mark Casano. Aaron?
Okay, this is application number SUB-26-001. The applicant is Mark Casano. The property owner is the same. The project description is this is an application to adjust the property line to the Ludlow Plymouth town line. This property is in the town residential district. We publicly posted this in the town clerk's office, town hall bulletin boards, post office, town website on April 17th, 2026. We posted it in the Vermont Journal on April 22nd, 2026. And we notified the abutting property owners on April 17th, 2026. George?
Thanks, Aaron. Is there anyone to speak to this hearing tonight?
Mark, this is where you raise your hand.
Okay. I'm going to swear you in. Is there anyone else that wants to speak to this hearing? Okay. Are you Mark? Yes. Okay. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give relative to the matter now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under pains and penalties of perjury? Yes. Okay, come on up to the podium and tell us about your project.
It's simple. I have 10 acres of land, I have 10 acres of land in half of it, approximately 5 acres in Plymouth, and approximately, I think it's 4.7 in Ludlow. I have an existing home in the Plymouth side. And I recently, about 3 years ago, I built a home for my mother on the Ludlow side. I got my building permit. It's all finished. Septic's been approved, installed. I have my 911 address. And I'm seeking to have a property line adjustment along the Plymouth Ludlow town line. So I can have my Ludlow property a separate building, like separate, stand on its own lot, or a homestead, or whatever.
Questions from the board?
There was also a restriction in my deed that said I couldn't subdivide, but I got all the original landowners from, to sign off on it. I had to make a deal with them.
That is the declaration of revised covenants.
I gave them like an acre of a buffer zone, no tree cutting zone. And,
That is, so on the, we have this, what is subdivision in Plymouth and Ludlow, Windsor County for Mark Casano, progress
Yeah.
print 6/26/25, that shows the proposed conservation easement.
yes.
Is that with the space that you're just?
Yeah, it's
referencing?
like an
Okay.
acre of, no
Just
tree.
making, being that we're on the record, make sure that we have
Yep.
a clear understanding of what.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Questions from the board? Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, I'm just not clear on exactly what you're doing here.
I want to have,
Anybody can jump in and help me.
I just want to have two individual lots, two individual
So you-
homesteads.
So you have one lot, is it deeded as one lot?
Yeah, it's all it's a 10-acre building lot
It's a
now
10
with
acre.
two homes on it.
So you want to create a new property line between these two proposed?
Exactly, yes,
Create
that's
two
it.
new
I'm
lots.
not seeking any other kind of development. I just need my line adjusted. And I'll have to do the same in Plymouth when I'm done here.
That's where I was going, yeah.
And Phil, if it helps, I did talk to the town council about this, and this is just a means of formality. So Mark Casano can have two separate lots. We just, in order to do the Mylar, you have to have a subdivision approval.
Right.
Are you, so just referencing that map, the line where the property line is where the town line is?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Any questions from the board?
I don't have any.
Yeah, so Aaron, just to follow up, so there'll be a new Mylar created for this new Ludlow lot?
Yes, that will be a condition.
Okay, and then you're hoping Plymouth,
Yeah, I've talked to them. They're waiting for you. It's kind of a unique situation. No one's ever really seen too many like this before.
I got
But
it.
if we sign off on it, they still have the ability, they have to still make a decision to sign off on it, is that correct? Is that
That
basically-
seems like my understanding from legal.
I didn't discuss whether or not Plymouth would approve it or not.
Okay.
Council, just,
I've talked to Jim Allen, and he said when you're done, he said you guys would send over what you've done to him. Is that correct? I don't know.
Who's Jim Allen?
He's the zoning administrator in Plymouth.
Okay, so-
Administrator, fire chief.
Okay, so you will receive a decision written by this board on your project, and then you can provide that to them, or you can have
Okay.
us send him
Yeah,
a
that's
copy
fine.
as well.
That's fine.
Per your instructions, if that's what you'd like.
Yep. Yeah, my land's I've had it recently surveyed. The Mylar's ready to go. I just have to call them.
I make a motion that we close the hearing.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
Cool.
You'll be hearing from us.
How do I proceed from here? I'll be hearing from you.
So we have 45 days to provide you a written decision.
Okay.
Typically, it takes us between 24 and 30.
Yep.
And then you'll receive that via certified mail.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
See you, Mark, nice to see you.
Next on the agenda, we're going to open a new public hearing for Ming Zhang. Is that how we pronounce that? Aaron?
all right, this is application number SITE-26-001 and CU-26-002. The applicant is Ming Zhang. The property owner is Modern Venture Properties LLC. Project description is, this is an application for conditional use and site plan review for a proposed 9-unit multifamily property in the Village Residential Commercial District. We publicly posted this in the town clerk's office, town hall bulletin boards, post office, town website on April 17th, 2026. We posted it in the Vermont Journal on April 22nd, 2026, and we notified the abutting property owners on April 17th, 2026. George?
Thanks, Aaron. Is there anyone to speak to this hearing tonight? And are you speaking on behalf of the applicant?
I am.
Okay, and what's your name?
Ted Reeves.
Do you have ID?
No, I left it in the car, sorry.
Is there anyone else that wishes to speak to this hearing? Okay, and what's your name, sir?
Christian Glenna.
Okay, and do you wish to be counted as an interested party per Vermont state statute? Are you in a
Yes.
butter, sir? Okay, so if you would like to have the option to appeal a said decision, you need to be considered an interested party. Is that something that you wish, sir? Yes. Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak to this hearing?
Does Ming want to talk?
You're Bing?
Hi. Yes, hi, I'm on Zoom. Nice to meet everyone. My name is Ming Zhang.
Okay, so we're going to swear the three of you in. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give relative to the matter now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under pains and penalties of perjury? I do.
I do.
How about tell us about the project, Ted?
Okay, so it's, as Aaron said, it's a conditional use permit and site plan review for the proposed multifamily 9 dwelling units on the land at 16 Bridge Street. In the packet that you have, there's a survey by Dave Rose. There's some architectural plans and a couple of site plans that lay out the project. There is a total of 9 units, as we talked about. There's 4 2-bedroom units, 5 1-bedroom unit, and a club space. The building would be 2 stories, and as you can see on the architectural drawings, it's a pitched roof. There is a club space in the building that'll be used by the tenants there as a common space, and we meet the parking requirements with 1 parking space per dwelling units, and those occur on the adjacent lot, which is 18 Bridge Street, and that's also shown on the site plan that you have.
Questions from the board?
Ted, what do you mean the adjacent lot? Is that deeded separately?
They are separate lots, but they are in common ownership.
So is there some type of contractual thing laid out in perpetuity that that parking will always exist?
I don't believe that there is at this moment, Phil, but we can do the same thing like we did at 130 and 136 Main Street. Do a parking license, in other words.
Yeah, I mean, that lot would have to,
Exactly, yeah.
you know what?
And the applicant is aware of that.
May I?
Keep going if you've got questions.
The current building that's there,
Yes.
going to be demolished, removed?
No, the existing building that's there has 4 units in it, and that, as far as I know, that's going to stay. Is that correct, Ming? Yes.
Just not. Okay.
That's correct.
Okay.
So are they saying
Let me
a
do a
total
little
of
study in
13?
here.
Yeah, when it's all said and done, there'd be
There'll be
9
13
units in the new building
I
and then the
was
4 existing units.
Are
Yeah,
these-
on the site plan here, I'm just not seeing how the whole lot's laid out.
The parking lots?
The parking lot, the existing building, and the new building.
So are you referencing the units that would be on,
Page 19, if you look at that, Phil.
If you go to the last page on the back, everything's double-sided.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Oh, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
This one?
Oh, wow, that's totally.
So are you referencing
This one.
this building?
Yes.
I didn't get that
Okay,
one.
so
That
that's
was
on a separate lot.
So this is one lot, that's a lot. This is the existing building, this is the proposed building. This is 26 spaces. These shaded 9 spaces are for this building, and all the rest would be on that.
So currently, there's nothing built on said lot where, okay. That was the, is that kind of,
Yeah, no, this,
okay.
yeah, okay, thanks.
So there is nothing on the lot.
And that was a, just because Ted had stepped away, that was a
Yep.
not an affirmative to that statement, that it was the building on the other lot with those units?
That,
we were
right, that has
referencing?
4 units. That's on the 18 Bridge Street lot.
Okay.
So, George,
Sorry,
ahead.
I got them backwards.
So we-
The existing building is on 16 Bridge Street, the proposed building is on 18 Bridge Street.
Okay. Go ahead, Julie.
but at this time, they're both deeded separately with separate tax bills, or no?
I think they are
Yes.
currently, but they are
Yes.
being,
And these aren't affordable housing or anything, are they gonna be individually owned, or?
right, they are not currently, they're currently 2 separate lots. And then the proposed dwelling units would not necessarily be affordable housing units. They would be available to the general public, you know.
Thank you.
So they won't be buying these units, they'll just be renting them?
I believe that's, Ming, is that correct? They would be for rental, or would they be for purchase?
As planned right now, it'll be for rental.
Thank you.
Ted, did you see the fire chief's letter?
Yes.
Any issues?
No. No, as you know, his typical letter, it's all NFPA, life safety code compliance, and stuff that we would have to do anyway with the Division of Fire Safety.
We also did receive a letter from a butter.
Yes.
Did you receive a copy of that?
Just as I walked in, yes.
Okay. Do you have any rebuttal to what is stated in there?
So 2 things that I can say right off is, and I've talked with Ming about this, is they are going to do screening across the back side of the property to try and soften the impacts to the adjoining properties. And they're also, planning on using downlighting that's dark sky compliant, so that would minimize or reduce the potential lighting impact. There is a requirement in life safety code that you have a certain amount of outside lighting for safety, so we'd have to comply with that. But other than that, and it is a 2-story building, which is consistent with other buildings in the area. So it's not like we're building a big monolith that's going to be, casting shadows on adjacent properties.
What were you guys' thinking for screening wise?
Other than there's going to be a privacy fence across the back, but I haven't had a chance to talk with Ming about anything beyond that as far as landscaping or anything along that line. But that's a conversation that we can take up.
What's the purview from the board? I would think that might be kind of a good thing to know, being that we have an abutter that has a concern.
Absolutely.
How tall is the fence?
Is that something?
I think it's 6 feet, Doug, is what is proposed.
Can you come up with some sort of written plan?
Yep,
And, that we could review?
sure.
Is it a solid fence?
I believe so, yeah. I think what they were talking about was like a stockade fence.
Other questions from the board? Excuse me, sir, there was an abutter. Do you have anything that you wish to add?
That letter was not for me. I can elaborate on some of those items, but
Okay. If you want to,
I believe that.
yeah,
It came today.
yeah, welcome, come on up to the podium, just state your name first.
Christian Ludlow.
40 Andover Street. So essentially, my main concerns are privacy, buffering, lighting, noise, and overall neighborhood compatibility. There also appears to be an inconsistency in the application materials. The site plan shows a rear terrace approximately 10 feet from the property line, while the architectural plan shows a smaller balcony. I asked the applicant to clarify which design is proposed and consider reducing or eliminating rear-facing terraces or balconies near adjacent properties. If the project is approved, I respectfully request conditions requiring substantial year-round landscaping and screening along rear and side yard property lines, privacy screening installed prior to construction, ongoing maintenance of that buffer. You address the lighting, but fully shielded downward-facing dark sky compliant lighting. Lastly, eliminating or reducing the size of balconies and terraces.
Excuse me, could you repeat that?
Eliminating or reducing the sizes of balconies and terraces. And, you know, essentially that's it. But I think I hit all those points in that letter, if you want to just, you know.
We have it on
those.
file, sir.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
Just one thing that I wanted to add is
Sure,
that I
right
had
away.
talked with Ming about having quiet hours at the apartments once they're all built, and so that they were going to have quiet hours from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. every day, so that, you know, cut down on potential impacts to the neighbors.
Come on up to the podium. That's okay. Being that we have Zoom and recording, everyone's got to speak into a microphone.
I totally understand. I'm just wondering if the applicant can elaborate on the clubhouse, what that actually is, and are there hours of operation to what you just noted? So if the applicant can talk about that a little bit more, that'd be great.
I think the intention of the clubhouse or club space is really just a common area for people to gather if they choose to, and they would have to abide by the same quiet hours from 11 to 7. So it's shown on the floor, shown on the floor plan. Go ahead, Ming.
Yeah, just to add on that, so we call it clubhouse, not going to be a clubhouse per se, like a New York City clubhouse. It's really just a common space, as you mentioned, to allow folks to, you know, have a small, you know, event or, not event, sorry, like to use a space, common space. May have a ping pong table, we'll probably have a foosball table, a TV in there, but that's just very something simple. And then also laundry space, where we consider that as common area for people to use in the building. And then to your point earlier, in terms of hours, it's going to abide by the same hours that we mandate for the entire building.
And so looking at the last page there, it looks like you also have a dumpster that's going to be situated. So I'm looking at this back sheet, which has got the whole, just a couple.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
There's a dumpster, and it is in an enclosure.
Okay.
Yep. Correct,
And-
yeah.
Nope, sorry, go ahead. Didn't
No,
mean
it's
to-
on, yeah, it's a dumpster, and it's going to be in an enclosure with the usual fence and with the slat inserts and that sort of thing.
And just kind of follow up on the parking, is it possible to have, within that parking lease that you're gonna, or whatever?
License, yep.
Parking license, that's the term?
Yep.
Okay. To have those spots numbered and associated, with that location?
Yeah, it's possible to do that, yes.
Any other questions from the board?
Does the parking lot exit right onto Bridge Street, or do you have to go over by where the apartments are gonna be?
No, on 18 Bridge Street, there's no road access, and so there's not going to be a new driveway cut there. The access that is shown on 16 Bridge Street is actually half of what is there now. There's a horseshoe entrance and exit on 16 Bridge Street, and they're going to close one of those off and,
Okay.
you know,
Thank you.
configure that parking space like it is shown.
So Ted, you have a privacy fence on Bridge Street in front of the project, but it also looks like there's a walkway that goes all the way to Bridge Street. So there's a section there, it looks like a setback maybe. I couldn't,
Yeah, so there is a setback line shown there.
so that's a
So
5-foot
5-foot
setback.
setback as
Yeah.
required by the zoning regs.
So is that 5-foot setback, is that going to be landscaped? Is there going to be grass there?
Well, I think the intention would be that there would be grass out front of the building, but we can incorporate other plantings as part of that landscaping
Well,
plan.
part of my concern is that that's road right there, that there's a pretty good curve right there in that road.
Yep.
Coming around there, it could be a blind corner, especially with you adding this many cars to it.
Oh, I see what you're saying, with the new access as it's shown on the drawing.
I guess my concern is that if there was something, if you were planning on putting trees or bushes or something there, it's gonna limit the ability to see out of that parking lot.
Oh, so hold them back from the edge of the road.
I mean, yeah, I drive that road every day,
Yeah.
because I live right up on South, so.
I see your
That's a-
concern. You're saying is that when they would exit out of the parking lot, there may be a sightline challenge?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
Right,
Is that
so-
something maybe we could make a little tweak to?
Yep, for sure. And, there's guidance in the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration has sight distance requirements. And I think that's a 30-mile-an-hour road. And so you can look up in a chart and it'll tell you how far you have to be able to see. And so we can work that sight distance into a site plan.
Ted, do you know how many units are in the current existing building that's there now?
There's 4 units in that one, Phil.
How many?
4.
Four.
So it'd be 13.
Now, this drawing shows 17 parking places.
I think there's 26, actually. But go ahead with your question.
So you have 4, you need 4 for the existing building,
Correct.
but then you're only gonna deed out for the new building, 9 lots?
Correct.
Why not more?
We could.
Because now you have a 4-unit building with 17 parking spaces, and you have a 9
No, I understand.
apartment building
Yep.
with 9 lots. The math is off to me.
No, I understand your logic. There is an excess of parking spaces with this plan.
I'm just thinking down the road, you have 2-bedroom apartments, you're gonna have 2 people in there and 2 cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know these state regs with the 1 per unit is just nonsense. It physically doesn't work.
I'm hearing you.
Or if they
Yeah.
have guests over, or people visiting for the weekend, or it's a ski weekend and mom came to visit, and on and on. We need to assure that there's going to be enough parking for the new project in the existing lot next door, so.
Well, even if we did,
to
we
tweak the
allocated,
math to make that work somehow.
right, even if we allocated 2 parking spaces for each 2-bedroom unit, that's 8 lots, and 5 for the 1-bedroom units, that's 13 lots, as opposed to the 9 that we had originally talked about. So it's possible, but I'll take it up with Ming and see how they want to approach that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
As we discussed, that right now it's all open in the front, right, of the existing lot?
Correct.
That's all open?
Yes.
And on the plan, it has the fence.
Correct.
How far does that how much of the opening will be there? How many feet?
Off the top of my head, Julie, I don't know what that distance is.
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out. It looks like it's pretty substantial.
Julie, you need to speak into the mic,
Oh, thank you.
because I can't hear you.
One thing after another.
Thank you.
Julie, you want to come up here and talk? Because you get picked up in
No,
this
she
mic
has a
pretty easy.
mic.
No. How was it?
Any other questions from the board?
So in addition to what you want to do with this project here, these 2 buildings,
Yep.
on a larger scale, you're going to put a privacy fence around both properties. That's what I see? Is that what I'm looking at?
That's what it shows on that site plan. That's
Okay.
correct, yeah.
And so on the site that's there currently, where the 4 units are, that's a crushed stone drive,
Yeah.
parking lot.
Yeah.
On the road side there's gonna be, some bushes that are gonna be put in there. Is there gonna be like plantings? Is between those bushes where the parking spaces are and Bridge Street, there's a 6-foot fence. Is that gonna be a lawn? Is that gonna be
Yeah,
green space now?
I think
Not
the
current.
intention would be that would be a lawn. It's kind of a lawn. Inside that horseshoe now is grass. So I think it would just continue that over to the edge of the, to close off that easterly side of the horseshoe would be planted in grass with some plantings there.
Is the dumpster going to be for the 4-unit complex or for the 9 or for both?
I think both, but Ming, do you have an opinion
Yes,
on?
both.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we do plan to, as Ted mentioned, to enclose it, right? So to make it nice, it's not going to be visible from the street. It's going to have nice closures around it. And the front of the frontage, we are gonna put planters, and it'll be a nice sight as you drive into Bridge Street.
Ted,
Yes, sir.
is there gonna be additional lighting in the parking area?
I haven't talked with Ming about that, so open to suggestions.
Well, Ludlow's Dark Sky Initiative.
Right.
All that kind of business. So if you
Yep.
come up with a plan about lighting it,
There,
when you come back in again.
yeah, there probably should be some lighting on there, Phil, just for safety concerns, and I think we would probably, as we did over on the Potbelly property on 130 Main Street, is do the 12-foot poles with full cutoff, fully shielded lighting.
And also, walking over to the new buildings.
Yep.
From the parking lot, if you could indicate on your site plan any lighting along the sidewalk or
Yep, I think,
on the building.
yep, on the building for sure, but if we had to, we'd probably put in a couple of those posts that are about 36 inches high that are also shielded for downlighting, and they just light the path.
So put that on your bucket list.
So as it currently sits, just as a recap, we've got the lighting plan, screening plan, parking license. Is there anything else that the board?
Because the parking license, is that deeded parking, is that?
Yes.
Because it's different names.
What did she say?
I've got the microphone right here.
All right, what did you say, Julie?
Just to clarify what George said. I'm all set.
Yep, the parking license is what
The deeded.
the deeded spots.
So you would like to see a draft of that parking lot?
Yes, if that would be
Okay.
possible. Being that we've got some other things to work on, rather than just making that a potential condition, if that's possible, that would be great.
Okay.
How high can we go with a fence?
6.5 feet until it requires a permit.
6.5 feet?
Without a, and then it
Without,
needs
it
a
doesn't
permit?
require a permit up to 6.5 feet.
I was just thinking if we could go with a higher fence between the neighboring houses and the project, this line here.
That line there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that up with Ming, and we'll have that on the next edition of the site
Just
plan.
so, if they're out in their yard, an 8-foot fence might give them a little more privacy.
Okay.
Is there any, looks like maybe some small decks. Am I seeing that correct?
There
Maybe
are
that's-
decks.
There are decks.
It's mentioned in the neighbors.
Is that for each unit?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
I don't have any.
Do you have any questions for us?
No, sir.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add? Sure, come on up.
Regards to the dumpster, there are bears that actually eat out of the dumpster that's there, so I just want to make that note that if there's some sort of way to protect the dumpster beyond just putting plantings around it to solve any potential bear issues. The last thing is, I don't know if the applicant can respond to the inconsistency in the plan, because the site plan is showing balconies, but then the architectural plans are showing, if you see this, it's like a 10-foot. Then you go to proposed first,
So that's upper floors. Oh, I see what you're saying, okay, yeah.
proposed first floor is just showing, I don't know if it's a copy and paste kind of thing, but that projection of those balconies and the terraces towards my properties.
Okay.
I just want to understand how far that's encroaching towards my property. Thank you.
Thanks. You got anything to add to that? Okay, thank you. Ming, anything you'd like to add?
I think we're good, but I just want to, Renee, we've been in Ludlow for about 4 to 5 years now up there. And, we get constant calls from local folks that need housing, just 1 bedrooms, folks that work in the mountain. Either they're new or they've been in Vermont for forever. So we really see this need, to build these houses. And this was something that we weren't urgently planning to do, but it seems that there is that need. right? So, we had good conversations with Aaron, the town, and want to just kind of move this forward because, we want to kind of fill that gap. So we're excited about this project. We hear all the concerns from the neighbors, and, there are things I think that are easily workable. And we're going to work with Ted and everyone just to kind of, get through these 3 items on here as well. And look, we're really excited to build this. We're using local teams that have been in Ludlow forever to do a lot of the project here. And so look forward to working with everyone and moving this along.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks everyone. Thanks for your time.
Did you get your list, Ted? Okay. I make a motion that we recess this until June.
I'll make a second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. Next on the agenda, we're going to open a new public hearing for the trustees of the Gill Oddfellows Home of Vermont LLC. Aaron?
All right, this is application number SUB-26-007. The applicant is the trustees of the Gill Oddfellows Home of Vermont Incorporated. Property owner is the same. Project description is, this is an application to subdivide an existing 24.57 acre lot into 2 lots containing 10.63 acres for lot 1 and 13.94 acres for lot 2. This property is in the Village Residential District. We publicly posted this in the town clerk's office, town hall bulletin board, post office, town website on April 17th, 2026. We posted it in the Vermont Journal on April 22nd, 2026, and we notified the abutting property owners on April 17th, 2026. George?
Thank you, Aaron. Who is here to speak to this hearing tonight? Okay. Ted, are you speaking on behalf of the applicant?
I am.
Okay. And we got some other folks. Okay. And all 4 of you there wish to speak? I do. Okay. We're going to swear everyone in. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak to this hearing?
Eric.
Oh, sorry, Eric. Missed you behind Ted.
I got it.
Okay, sounds good. Does anyone want party status? You would like party status? Okay, sounds good. I'm going to swear everyone in. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give relative to the matter now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury? I do.
I do.
How about you tell us about your project, Ted?
Okay, as Aaron stated, this is a simple subdivision application. We want to divide the 24.57 plus or minus acres into 2 lots. Lot 1 will be retained by the Gill home, and that will be 10.63 plus or minus acres. Lot 2 will be conveyed to a future third party, and that will be 13.94 plus or minus acres. And that is what's considered a deferral lot. From the state of Vermont standpoint and from the Ludlow DRB standpoint, you're setting aside that property. It can be transferred, but any future development for any subdivision or future development activity has to come before you for a site plan review and, conditional use permit, et cetera. And it also has to go before the state of Vermont for, at minimum, a water wastewater permit. The existing property is an Act 250 property, so it would have to go through Act 250 review as well for whatever future plans are there. We did successfully get this subdivision approved a couple of years ago, but the subdivision plat was not recorded in the town records, so that subdivision permit sunsetted of its own accord, so that's why we're back in front of you tonight.
So just as a quick clarification.
Yep.
You're currently proposing no development?
Nothing.
Okay.
We can't.
We're drawing a line on a map.
That is correct.
Okay.
So all
I
we
just want
can
to make sure that's...
Yeah, so all we can do at this point is subdivide the property, which then makes it available for future sale. And then some other third party, whoever that is, can come in, purchase it, but they would have to come back to you for site plan review unless it's a single-family home, and then it's just a building permit, right, Aaron? So, but if they wanted to do a subdivision or anything along that line, they'd have to come back to you guys for a future subdivision permit. And as I said, it's an Act 250 permitted lot, so it'd have to go through Act 250 review, water, wastewater, et cetera, so.
Questions from the board?
Does one of these lots have a house in the middle of it?
It does, but that's a separately defined legal lot, Doug. It's not part of this subdivision.
So they use the same driveway for the new subdivision?
Not necessarily. The new subdivision may have a complete, and I would suggest that it would have a completely separate driveway from that lot that is currently there.
And is that a deeded right-of-way in the hash for that lot?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
And is anything changing in regards to that deeded access?
No.
Okay.
No, it can't because it's an existing legal easement.
Well, I didn't know if that was, I didn't see anything in here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's that I just want to make sure that being I didn't see any changes that was as remaining as said. Other questions from the board? We have some abutters that wish to be sworn in. We'll give them the opportunity to speak. Whoever would like to go first, come on up to the podium, say your name.
Hi, my name is Angela Aroney. I live at 16 Gill Terrace. So sort of, we're in a butter, but there is, I believe the town took some of our, this is my husband Murat, same property. So I believe the town took some property between our home and, is it 8? Are you guys 8? Or 12 Gill Terrace. And we're concerned that with the subdivide, that is going to become the roadway because their driveway is right there. And the town took that and cleared it. I believe they thought they were going to put a water line or something up through there. So we're a bit concerned about traffic, everything else. And although I understand that's a third-party situation, I'm just concerned with the subdivide, what that means. It would be great, I thought, that there's a part that the Gill home is going to retain, and there's a road that kind of comes off of their driveway or whatever you want to call it, their parking lot. So I thought it would be great if there could be some language in there to say, you know, maybe the access road to the future buyer has to be there. And this will impact all of us. It'll impact our property values and everything else, these guys as well.
Yeah, all the even numbers on Gill's side will basically lose the green side of our properties.
Excuse me, could you speak into the mic?
Yes, I'm just saying that all the properties on the even numbers on the Gill side will definitely lose all our green side of our property. So we just don't want any road there to be a problem. I know it's a town easement over there for future water line, and usually where the water line goes, usually there's a road on top of it, so that would make sense for any infrastructure. But we just want to make sure we don't lose that little forest situation that we have going on instead of, that's all, that's our concern.
Thank you for your comments.
Hi, I'm BJ Donahue. I own 12 Gill Terrace, which is that 1 acre lot that's in the center of this 14 acre lot that's being subdivided. Obviously, whatever happens with this subdivision is going to be very impactful for us and for our driveway. So I think that's our only concern, is that all use of this subdivision is going to be concise on our driveway area at the end. And the map that was provided to you with the application, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think 70 feet is the required road frontage for a subdivision. Is that correct? Okay.
Testing maybe.
Yeah, well, I was looking through the zoning and I was trying to understand what.
Yeah, I think it sounds about right.
Okay. So 70 feet. So if you're looking at your map, right at my driveway, you've got the 2 points which are listed as .68 and .80. And that is the complete road frontage for this subdivision. And in this application, or in this map, it shows that between points 80 to 68, which is on the line curve table, it amounts to 68.61 feet and not the 70 feet that's required for road frontage. So, and then that will ultimately be my new road frontage for my house, since this subdivision, my right-of-way will be completely contained within this subdivision. So then my house also does not have the required road frontage for the zoning in this town. So I'm not sure what that means for me moving forward. The other thing I have here, and I'm going to provide this to you, is a picture of what the road frontage looks like, so that way you guys can look at it. The reason I bring it up is because the road frontage is one just consists of my driveway and then a telephone pole next to it with a guide wire that holds the telephone pole up. So there is no access to this subdivision besides the entrance to my driveway. My 30-foot right-of-way ultimately is where all traffic for this subdivision will be required to access it.
Do you have any other comments, sir?
I believe that's it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Got a couple of questions for you, Ted, if possible.
Yes, sir.
So, looking at the map, we have, so coming off from where it's point 80, it says end of 33-foot wide Gill Terrace Highway right-of-way per map reference, and then some notes. Is that intended to be like a continuation of the town road? Do you know?
I'm not 100% certain off the top of my head. I mean, I'd have to actually go back to Dave Rose and ask him that question.
Okay.
Because the road, as you can see, comes up the hill, so it's just going essentially north, and then it turns east, right at that same intersection with Donahue's driveway. So,
no, I'm just trying to get some clarification because we've got that very narrow strip that is part of the water department.
yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Ask your question again. I want to make sure that I
Sorry,
understand.
so I just wanted some clarification for the map. So we have a section where it goes end of 33-foot wide Gill Terrace Highway right away. And right above that, we have a 50-foot delineation. And that looks to be as if there is that a part of a lot the town owns?
Oh,
Or
I
is
see where
that
you're
part
looking,
of
yeah.
a easement?
Yeah, I think that is part of an easement that actually goes up the hill to that lot for the Village of Ludlow Water Department.
Okay, we got one.
Yeah, so.
You gotta unfortunately come up to the microphone.
As far as I know, when we bought this property, we've been told it's the easement for water department to make the water pressure better, and actually they ended up installing the water pump by the Gill homes, which eliminated that need. As of right now, that's the right of way for, I believe, water department essentially. But you brought up this point about Gill Terrace Highway. I just want to know what that entails in that 33 foot of it. Is that
Well, that.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would be that right-of-way coming up through here, and then it fattens out at that point.
Gotcha.
And goes up the hill further. Just for my reference, which property is yours?
Mine is right after Mark Cromwell, the 16 second.
So
up.
you're right up here then?
No, on this side.
Oh, on that side, okay.
Yeah, I am dealing with. I'll be right on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Did you have another question, George?
What was the distance that you were looking up? For lot
Right now,
frontage?
it's showing 50 feet, but I need more time to research it. I can't
Okay.
just give an answer on this.
Okay.
I believe it's 50 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it possible for you to find out a little bit more information from Dave Rose about that right away, with the road and easement and who? Is based off of what, and correct me if I'm wrong, it looks like the property line for this lot runs as if that is owned, not easement. It's not an easement.
It is, I would say that it is owned by the town, or the town of Ludlow, and it is an access going up the hill to what may have been originally thought of as a place to put a water storage tank.
Okay. And do we know this, based off the pictures that we just received, it looks like that the road right-of-way that is referenced there is not currently in use.
No, I don't believe it is, because Donahue's driveway comes off, and then I think that's just woods and green space going up through there now currently.
George, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
As I'm trying to orientate myself on this, where's the little cemetery?
It's way over to the left in that drawing,
To the left of it?
yes.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where it was in here.
So if you're looking at Dave Rose's survey, if you see the Gill home, go
Yes.
up a little bit and to the left side of the drawing, and it says Town of Ludlow, Pleasant View Cemetery.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about the Gill Home Cemetery. There's a little cemetery in there.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. That's why I'm just trying to find it.
Down there.
Yeah, that's why I know where the cemetery is. Thank you. Okay, right there.
Point 80 that I've shown you, and then if you go to the left of that, you see point 75.
Yep.
20 feet over to the left there, and then that's where this subdivision's property line would then continue up on the map. So you've got the highway right away, and then you've got another 20 feet of town-owned land, and then this subdivision.
Okay. Other questions from the board?
When you go in your driveway, is that the way they used to get into that cemetery?
Yes.
And then there was another road from their parking lot up around the back way.
And that's another right way that they'll keep. So I don't understand where we can put another road if it's not going directly through our right way. I don't think there's any other places to put that without going through our right way. And I'm just concerned with, that much property, if it does be a build, with, big development, that I just don't know how that affects our assets.
We pay for the paving, the gravel, and the maintenance and everything on the gravel there, so.
Yeah,
We can only ask that we'll be an integral part of this process moving forward, since everything's gonna impact this, potentially be part of our property. Yes.
Anything else from the board?
I don't have anything.
And since we do have a bunch of abutters here, I just want to make sure you understand that being that no development is proposed, that basically they would have to come back as stated by Mr. Ted Reeves. Okay. Okay.
I'm glad to hear about the Action 52, because that's a lot of
I make a motion that we close the hearing.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much. We struck number 9 from this agenda, and so we'll be moving on to number 10. We'll be opening a new public hearing for Todd and Kim Guthrie.
Hi, I'm Kim Guthrie with my husband Todd.
Guthrie?
We have.
I need to open the hearing.
Oh, sure, sorry.
Yeah.
Give us 1 second.
Jumping right in.
So this is application number 128-98-PUD, amendment number 74. The applicant is Todd and Kim Guthrie. Property owner is the same. Project description, this is an application to modify the permit to enclose the front entry deck and incorporate space to the mudroom. This property is in the Mountain Recreation District. We publicly posted this in the town clerk's office, town hall bulletin boards, post office, town website on April 17th, 2026. We posted this in the Vermont Journal on April 22nd, 2026, and we notified the abutting property owners on April 17th, 2026. George?
Thanks, Aaron. Who do we have here to speak on this hearing tonight?
Hi, I'm Kim Guthrie. This is Todd, my husband.
Okay. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak to this hearing? Okay. I swear you both in. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give relative to the matter now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under pains and penalties of perjury? I do.
I do.
Okay, how about you tell us about your project?
Sure. So we have owned 43C, which is right next door to this unit, for 24 years. And just recently, in December of last year, purchased the next door condos. So now we own 43C and 43D. 43D is the one we're talking about today, and we are asking to modify the front entry deck where several, I would guess maybe 35 to 40% of other homeowners have done this. It's a pretty standard remodel job where you take that front entryway and it's just, you enclose it and make it part of the existing mudroom. It's not a very big space, maybe 9 by 7 feet. And we did the exact same project of our unit in 43C rather, and just wish to do the same thing for the new property. And then because we will own these two, we notified ourselves that we would be doing this, and then the other two owners in that same building, of which I think at least one of them has already done the same exact project.
Did you get a copy of the fire chief's letter with his conditions?
I have not, but I believe our builder, we're working with Tim Mott Builders, has spoken to him directly.
Okay.
So we've discussed putting in a fire-safe door to connect the two units. That is a lockout as well, as part of the scope of work.
Any questions from the board?
So the footprint of what's there is not going to expand?
Correct.
Not at all?
Is there a foundation under the deck, or is it?
They'll have to put one in. They'll put a slab. They'll have to bring in an excavator, and like I said, we'll do exactly what we did in 43C.
So this drawing, I'm sorry, the drawing that I have,
Huh?
it shows, so the left side is, looks like it's written correctly, but the right side looks like a mirror image, is that?
Right, that was the only way we could do it with TPW didn't have a schematic of 43D, so we just kind of cobbled it together. That's the layout of the two units side by side.
Are you gonna move the bathroom?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Make a motion to close the hearing.
I'll second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a great night. Next on the agenda, we have minutes for March 9th and April 13th. And I know you had mentioned, Julie, that you were looking to have this pushed because you just got one of the copies?
I reviewed the April 13th. If anybody reviewed the March 9th, I'm fine with it, but I haven't gone through them yet.
Do you want to,
The April 13th?
Yeah.
I think we're okay, but their first page says the wrong date on it.
Yeah, it says March 9th on it.
But the other things seem to line up.
do you have any other corrections for that one?
And on that one, does anybody have any corrections before page 3? I just had page 3, number 38. George Tucker Jr. asked if Mr. Voto if he has any comments.
What does it say? If he has any comments.
Number 38. And the last two I had were, let me see. I just wanted to ask number 10 on page 4. I just wanted to, Phil could clarify what he said.
Bill was telling him he couldn't,
It just doesn't make
it
sense.
was a new hearing, so what he said before
Yeah,
didn't
what they were
count.
referring to, like we said before,
Okay,
and like
that's okay.
last time, that sort of language.
It just says the sentence
And
said,
I just wanted to make it clear that this
From
was
last
a
year.
new hearing, and none of that former discussion plays into it.
no problem. And then number 22 just should be none instead of not.
Where is that?
Or maybe that's okay.
None are shown.
If none are shown.
Everything else I'm set. I'll make a motion we approve the April 13th minutes as corrected.
I'll second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Do you want to wait till next month?
Did anybody go over the 9th?
I read them, but I know that you
I just,
you
yeah.
do a really good job.
I like to go through them. If we can just table them.
Yeah.
I have them now, the right
We
ones.
can do those next month.
Thank you.
Is there any other business? Okay. I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?